What is up, everybody? My name is Hello. Welcome back to this series where we're solving Codeforces problems. In Python, we're doing a very beginner friendly video today. We're solving a very beginner friendly problem. It is problem 1A, which is called theta square. A very interesting problem. But again, as I said, if you're just starting out with Codeforces, with computer programming, this is a fantastic problem to get started with. Let's go ahead and see how we can solve this problem. Let's read through it first. So, theta square in the capital city of Berlin has a rectangular shape with size n x m meters. So something to keep in mind whenever they give you these n m, that means it's going to be input variables. On the occasion of the city's anniversary, a decision was taken to pave the square with a square granite flagstones. Okay, each flagstone is of the size a into a. So since this is a square flagstone, right, and this is basically a tile, and the dimensions of this tile is a cross a, and the field itself, that is the theta square, is a rectangle of size m cross n. Okay, that is what is given to you. Now the question what they're asking is, what is the least number of flagstones needed to pave the square? What is the least number of tiles needed to pave the square? It's allowed to cover the surface larger than the theta square, but the square has to be covered. It is not allowed to break the flagstones. What they're trying to say is you have to put X number of these flagstones, tiles on top of this field right here. Now, obviously, there can be extra area where there's tile but no underlying field, but there should not be any part of this theta square which is not covered by this flagstone. Okay, so you can use more flagstones, cover extra area, but you should not leave any area uncovered. You are not allowed to break the flagstones. Okay, these are all the limits that's been given to us. Let's see what the input looks like. They give you n, m, and a. So this is n, m, and a. Okay, and you're given the output to write the number of needed flagstone, and this should be minimum. Okay, let's go ahead and explore through this option that are given here, example, and try to see what they mean. Okay, now 6, 6, and 4, n and m being 6 and 6, this is a field, right, of 6 length, 6 breadth. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw one nice rectangle over here. Let's try to divide this, right? So 1, 2, 3, and then similarly I'll do 4, 5, and then 6. Okay, so similarly I'm going to go ahead, do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Great, fantastic. Now I am given that I need to do a 4 cross 4. This is the size of my tile flagstone to cover. So let us take 4 cross 4 tiles and try to cover this field. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this part right here can be one tile. Okay, so this is tile 1. Okay, so similarly, when you look below, I cannot break my tile, but still there is 2 squares that I need to cover, 2 rows basically here. So I need to add one another tile. So this is 2, but since the 4 cross 4 tile, it will slightly exceed, right? That's something that we know based on the question. Similarly, when I try to do that to the left and the right, something that will happen is again 2. I can take 4 from here, which means I should take another 2 from the outside. It will exceed, but still I don't have any choice. That's what the question states. Similarly here, this 2 cross 2 I can take, but the remaining to this side, the remaining to this side, the remaining to this side is something that will be extra. So the minimum number of flagstones that I use in this case is 4. Obviously there is some area that the flagstones exceed, but that I cannot solve for because I cannot break these flagstones. Now if you want to think about other ways you can solve this, I want you to pause the video and think about how you would rearrange these tiles to, maybe you can, if you can, make it to 3. You cannot, by the way, spoiler alert, but you can take a pause and think about this yourself. Now we do know that for 6 cross 6, right, the answer is 4. When a comma a is 4, right? Let's try to break this down. Something to keep in mind also is, if I extend this part right here to add some extra rows. Let's say I'm adding 2 extra rows. Okay, now 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then similarly, I add 2 extra rows below also. You can actually see that the number will still remain the same only. If I make this 8 cross 8 also, I can cover this with 4 tiles. So what does that say? In math, we have this function called a ceiling function. If you guys have come across this, that is, a ceiling function is where, let's say 5 by 2 is 2.5. The ceiling function of 5 by 2 is 3. Okay, you have to round this up to the nearest whole number. And that is what is happening here when you really analyze this, right? So when you're trying to fit this, right, the ceiling function, let's say this is 6, right? This is 6, and you're trying to cover this by 4, 4 cross 4, whatever. So now 6, if you divide by 4, which is a, and this is m, you will get 1.5. Okay, now if I take the ceiling function of this 1.5, I will get 2. Now 8 by 4 will be 2. 8 by 4 ceiling will also be 2. That is why even in an 8 cross 8 grid, or the m is 8, you still get 4. Why this part? This is solving for m, right? Similarly, we can solve for n also. Again, n is the same here, so you're going to get the same thing. Okay, so you're going to get 2 here also. So you're saying, given inputs m and n and a, I can do m by a, take the ceiling, get some integer, in this case 2, right? And then n by a, which will give me some integer, in this case 2 again. Now this means, what is the minimum amount of stuff, minimum amount of tiles I can fit in the rows? Okay, since m denotes rows, to cover all the rows from 1 to n, sorry, not n, let's say x, okay, I need these many flagstones. Now to cover the columns, how many flagstones do I need? So 1 to y, let's say. You will say, to cover all these columns, I need the ceiling of n by a. That's the amount of flagstones that I need. To cover all rows, let's say I need 3 flagstones. To cover all the columns, let's say I need 2 flagstones. The total number of flagstones that I will need will be 3 into 2. Okay, if you want to visually look at it also, we can actually try and get one number to something different. Okay, so let's go ahead and give something like 9 or 12. Okay, so 12 into 8 is what we're looking at here. Let's go ahead and add 4 more lines here. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so you have 4 extra here, which means apart from this part, so this will be one tile, and this will be the third tile, which will exactly cover these 4 right here. And there'll be a tile below also, which will exactly cover these 4. What's the total number of tiles now? In the rows, to cover the rows, I need 1, 2, 3 tiles. To cover the columns, I need 1 and 2 tile. Totally, I need 3 into 2, which is equal to 6. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, I know this might have been a bit confusing. If it is, I recommend you to watch this again. It's simple. We just try finding this. And the reason why it's a bit lengthy, this explanation, is so that I want you to understand what we're doing really here before we go into the code. Now, if you are able to understand the solutions to this question, I want you to pause the video and do this yourself. If not, let's go ahead and see what this looks like in code. Okay. Okay, so firstly, we are talking about the ceiling function. So we need to import the math module. Okay, and what all do we get as input? We get m, we get n, and then we get a, which is list of map of int comma input dot r strip dot split. If you've been following the videos, this is how we take input for space separated integers. And this is something that if you want, you can memorize. But what's happening here is you take this line input, you strip the last letter, and then you split it with the space, map all of those characters into integers, and then store it into a list. Okay, so m, n, and a will be stored as 3 integers. Now what are we finding out? We need to find out the ceiling, right? So first of all, the area of the tile will be A cross A, right? The total area will be how much? M cross N. Will we be using this? Not really. Okay. So what do we need to print out? We need to print out maths.ceil of, what is that? M divided by A into maths.ceil of N divided by A. Okay. And I can just go ahead and delete this part if you want. I'm just going to go ahead and run this. You can see that this test case passed, but I still want to submit it with other test case also. So I will submit this solution and let's see what that looks like as well. So, right. So I've submitted this. I've clicked on it. And you can see that the solution has been accepted. So this is the problem 1A. Maybe this video was a bit too long for how simple this problem is, but I really hope you understood how we're approaching this problem. Even though the code is simple, understanding this logic behind sealing, how you're covering all of that, is something that's important and something that will help you across your CP journey. Thank you so much for watching this video. If this video helped you, hit that like button. I'll see you in another video. Until then,